Hi all. Today we will launch an Windows OS based machine in the AWS console. So for to start with, I will log into the AWS console now. So if you see like there's no running instances, so this is the EC2 dashboard, and like I'm presently at the North Virginia region, so I'm going to launch an EC2 instance now. So once you click the launch instance button, so it's getting loaded. So like you can see the Amazon based Linux based OS. So for now we are going to do for Windows. So I type Windows and press enter. I can see three OS. The first one is the basic OS, the next one is with containers, and the other two is with the SQL servers, which is not required. For now I'll choose the basic Windows Server OS, and this is the AMA ID. This differs for each region, and when you click into the next screen you get to the choose the machine instance type. So I choose T2 micro, which falls under the free tier. And like if you see virtual CPUs is 1, memory is 1 gigabytes, and it's an ABS storage. Next, configure instance details. So if you see I'm not going to change anything here, so the number of instances we are going to launch is 1. Then the default VPC and the subnet. So if you see at the subnet, like you can launch in a specific availability zones, but like I'm going to leave it as a default. So if you want to launch at a specific availability zone, you can choose. So next is the auto assign IP. So I'm leaving it as it is, and the IAM roles and the AD directory, I'm leaving all those as default. And the next is the shutdown behavior. So what you want, how you want system to behave, like when you shut down the system, either to terminate or stop it. So it should be stop. And like next is termination protection. Like if you terminate the instance by accidentally, like this gives you another confirmation, like pop up to make sure you are deleting the instance on purpose. And tenancy is like if you are going to use a dedicated tenancy, like you will be charged more. So you will be using a shared tenancy, so that's the default one. And user data is like if you want to launch any softwares along with the when the OS comes up, like you can put the script here, so that like when system gets launched, it also installs the softwares. Let's go to the storage. So if you see the storage, it's 30 GB by default. The snapshot which Amazon provides, if you see the storage is 30 GB, and by default the Amazon gives the Windows snapshot for 30 GB, so we will not be able to reduce the volume here. So say suppose like if you are in free tier, and like Amazon gives you only 30 GB of storage for free. So like if you're going to launch a Windows machine, like you will not be able to make sure like you do not have any other machine active, otherwise like you'll be charged for the additional storage whichever is above 30 GB. Next is the volume type. It's going to be the default, and IOPS information is there. And so next is the delete on termination. So when you terminate this machine, all the volume also will get deleted. That's why we have the checkbox. If you uncheck it, like it's not going to be get deleted. So these are the volume types available, so IOP specific, etc. So next we'll go to the tags. Adding tags is like just for your referral purposes, and like so this is the security group. So for Windows, we need to make sure the RDP port is enabled for this particular port number. and I'm creating a new security group here, and in place of source, like from where the connection should be accepted for this RDP, and like I am using my IP for security reasons. If you go for zeros, then anyone will be able to access this machine, whoever acts as the key pair. So that is the reason I choose my IP. You can also choose that way, so that like it chooses the IP provided by your broadband um, provider. So I click the review and launch button. Now you can also verify the details in this screen. So if you want to change anything from here, you will be able to change it. So if you see the instance details, storage, tanks, whatever we choose, it's been displayed here. So anything if you want to change, you will be able to change it. So I am clicking launch now. So the key pair, so I'm going to create a new pair. You can also use the existing key pair if you already have one. If not, you can create a new key pair, and once you give a name and hit the download key pair, you can save it. It will be a perm file. So it's downloaded. So I'll click launch instance now. So initiating instance launches, so we can click that instance ID to go directly to see the status of the instance. So if you see, it's initiating still, initializing. It will take a minute or so. So in the below you can see the description about the machine, these security groups, IP address, all those things. So if you will click at the security groups and come here, like you'll be able to see the security group. This is the security group which we used along with our instance. And if you want to also edit it, like if you go down, you can see so if you click the security group and go inside, like you'll be able to see an option to edit the rules. So if you see the inbound rules, only the RDP port is enabled, so that we'll be able to log in. And there is also outbound rules. So generally outbound rules will be like to allow all the traffic. If you want to restrict also, you will be able to change it. So tags, you can also give tags for security groups. This is not the same tags which we gave while initiating the instance. This is the tags for security group, or even the security group you can have some tags just for reference purpose, or like while automating it will be helpful. So now the machine is running. So we'll right click the machine, click the connect button, and so if you see like to get the if you see like to get the password, like you will need the key pair which we downloaded earlier. So I'm right clicking connect. You can also download the remote desktop file. It can act as a shortcut to launch your instance instead of using the public address, public DNS name every time. So to decrypt the password, we will need the key. Choose this key, decrypt the password, copy the password, have it in a notepad or something. Right, copy your username, administrator, and now you can this is the public DNS name through which also you'll be able to log in, but like we have already downloaded the remote desktop file. I'm copying this as well. So now I'll go to the remote desktop file and use it to launch the machine. So if you double click and like give connect, and you already have the administrative password, just copy and paste it, save it in a place where you have access. If you forget it, you will not be able to it will be the process to record it. And like you are connecting to the Windows machine now, and it's loading. It takes a minute to load, so it's continuing settings. So we got the desktop home screen. So that's it. I mean, like we will come into the machine, and like so this is like a normal Windows machine. So what you'll be able to do, I mean, like means also I've gone to the file explorer now. If you see this PC details, so right click, go to the properties. You'll be able to see the operating system, what is the service packs, all those details, and along with your group details, RAM, Windows is activated. So all these things you'll be able to see. Apart from, like, you can also see the storage, it is 30 GB. And that's it for today. I mean, like thanks for watching.